What's going on, everybody? So it's your boy Trace over here. We just got to a project. We're gonna go look at a tree. This customer said that the tree that we planted a couple weeks ago isn't doing too good. If I had to guess, I think it's just probably the season. We installed a crepe myrtle. They don't really look too good this time of year. We're in December, so they're probably losing their leaves. That's what it looks like from the street. But we're gonna just take a closer look. We're gonna do a little scratch test, make sure that the tree is healthy. In the event it does need to be replaced, we're going to replace it. But that's what we're doing here. Once we leave here, we're going to go take a look at a couple other projects. We're going to look at a project we completed last week, and then we're going to go to a couple other projects that we got going on today. But yeah, man, we're wrapping up for the year. We'll come back and talk about what we did this past year. So let's go. Basically what I did here, if you want to come closer. So this is a tree that we installed, like I said, a couple weeks ago. I just broke a little piece off. So what crepe myrtles typically do is this time of year in December, their leaves will start turning colors like this, and then they'll shed their leaves. Usually you cut these back late January, early February, but I just broke off a little piece and you can see a little bit of green. So that's a good sign. So the tree isn't dead. It is in fact alive. Just going to educate the customer and let her know what I just said on the camera. So another way you can check is if you take a little pocket knife. Obviously you don't want to hurt the tree, but you could do a little scratch test. So I typically, whenever I do this, I do it on the back side of the tree so you can't see it from the front. And then if you come around, you can actually see some green on the bark. So that's another way of testing it. And again, you want to do just a small section. You don't want to damage the tree. So okay, so if you notice on this crepe myrtle, it has a lot of black, sooty like substances on the crepe myrtle. This is fungus. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna treat the tree. Pretty sure we treated a couple weeks ago. Looks a little bit better, but I think we just need to treat again. The tree is still alive, but this fungus can cause a lot of harm to the tree. So we're just gonna treat it and keep on rolling. All right, so we're coming up on the end of the year, December 19th. So we really only have a couple more weeks left, and then it's the new year. So we pretty much fell short of a couple of our goals, but otherwise we freaking absolutely crushed this year in terms of revenue, in terms of team. Hired a lot of great people this past year, which I'm super excited to work with everybody here. There's still a lot of things that I want to accomplish. We actually just had a team meeting this morning. Kind of long story short, the whole concept of the meeting talked a lot about goals, and you know, there's certain people within the company that did really, really well, and they're, you know, for 2023 of December, we kind of did some goal setting, and a lot of those guys and women, their lives look completely different in just the 1 year of working, right? So they contributed to the company. People are getting ready to buy houses. There's people within the organization that bought bikes and motorcycles and all kinds of cool stuff. And that's what fires me up. And so we pretty much had a meeting this morning talking about, you know, if you just lock in for 1 year, sometimes it takes a lot longer, but if you just dial in for 1 year, your life could look completely different. And if you're not happy with where you're at, lock in for 1 year and watch what happens. So that was pretty much the meeting that we had this morning, actually. And, you know, obviously us getting towards the end of the year, people are starting to take their foot off the gas. This is the perfect time to hammer down while everybody else is taking their foot off the gas, starting to slow down. This is a perfect time to execute and take other people's lunch. So, I think it's good to take a couple days off, relax, especially towards the end of the year. But a little message is don't overindulge, So, yeah, that's what we did this morning. Anyway, we're headed to another property. We're going to take a look at this one. Like I said, we finished this one last week. So we did a bunch of trees, we did sprinklers, we did gravel. We're getting ready to do phase 2. A couple more weeks, we're waiting on permitting. Yeah, man, let's roll. We've actually been working with this customer now for several years. So this project in particular, we kind of went back and forth between a design and some other elements for this project. And one of the number one things that this customer wanted was a place for his family to enjoy, as well as privacy. So what I did on the rendering was I created a space where these trees can eventually grow into one another. And so this design just really captures privacy. Obviously, you don't see the privacy quite yet, but these are Eagleston hollies. These are 65 gallons. These trees will eventually fill into one another, and you won't ever see the other side of the fence. Same here. In the original design, we were going to remove all of the trees, but unfortunately, he wanted to keep these trees, which is all good. So eventually, these trees will all kind of fill in, and it'll block the house behind him and this house. So that was one element of the project that we kind of captured here. Another thing is he likes the very modern look, and so we wanted to make everything as low maintenance as possible, and plants that grow into one another and very clean lines. So what we did was we put wax leaf ligustrums back here, and over time these will fill in and we'll square these off to where it's nice and clean. So another thing that we did on this project was we put Black Star gravel throughout the entire beds, so you're not going to have to continuously replace the mulch every quarter or once, twice a year. So we did gravel. This gravel isn't going to be moved. It's going to remain, and if any, you could probably replace the gravel or add to it maybe once every couple years or so, just depending on the how well the property is upkept, if you will. Another thing that we did, this was last year, is we put these diamond trellises across this back fence. He didn't want to put any more jasmine. There's jasmine across this back fence, and eventually over time it'll fill in and grow into this trellis. This customer in particular has kids, so lawn space was a high priority as well. But we didn't want to take too much lawn space away, so the beds are actually 3 foot wide, and then the rest of the space is grass. So this is a really good place for the dogs to play, the kids to play, as you can see the swing set. So this is pretty much it for the project. On the other side, there's another company that did turf, the pool, and then the gas fireplace. But overall, we helped kind of design this and made all this come into reality. So that's pretty much it on this project. Super excited for the family to enjoy it. They're super happy and excited to use the space. So that makes me happy. So we did all the grass back here. We did the fence on the other side of the property. So there's actually a phase 2 to this project. So he purchased the property behind him. And so right now we're waiting for permitting. They're gonna completely demo the house. We're not gonna do that. He's hiring another company, but that house is gonna be completely demoed. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a fence around the perimeter of the property on the building line. And then we're gonna have brick columns throughout with a wrought iron fence in between those columns. And then on one side of the fence, we're gonna do magnolia trees to give him privacy. And then on the inside of the property, we're gonna do a bed with plantings. So he'll kind of have a 2-tiered look. This is still in the works, still waiting for permitting. But on this side of the property, you'll notice this was originally turf. This was a turf pathway. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna completely demo all of this and we're gonna redesign it. So can't really do that until we get approval. So That's still in the works. So we did this fence, I guess about 2 years ago. And then the fence that separates the property, we did that a couple weeks ago. So what we did was all these are cedar pickets, cedar 2x6s, rot board, just pony height fence, very simple, clean cut, nothing crazy. So. Welcome to MTV Cribs. Vámonos. So what we're doing here, this is kind of a two-step process here. Right now we're working on phase 2. Phase 1, we did 26 pallets of zoysia. Obviously, it's leaf season. We're in December, so a lot of leaves are coming down. We did 26 pallets of grass. Landscape lights throughout. We did front yard and backyard landscaping. Originally, we had plants behind the pool. We went ahead and did a concrete step up for additional seating. For phase 2, this is gonna be a turf section. This section will be pavers. We're gonna have a little paver walkway. And then on this side, we built some veggie planters. And so we're gonna put veggie planters along this back fence here. And then this is all gonna be Black Star. On the other side of the pool house, we're gonna have a little workout / dog run, and that's gonna also be turf. We also have speakers back here, landscape uplights. So, I mean, this is pretty freaking awesome. All right, guys, so once we finish up the turf and the gravel by the pool house, we're gonna do a big cleanup, make sure everything is nice and clean. We're really kind of on the back half of this project, so I'm really excited to see what it looks like once it's completed and all these leaves are cleaned up. So it's gonna be really nice, and I'm excited for the family to enjoy it. All right, fellas, we just got back to the office. Got to run in, get some quotes done, and wrap up the day. But again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.